Welcome back. EMS and first responders are in a shortage crisis, illustrating that are 20 referendums on the ballot this November around Wisconsin, asking voters to pay more in property taxes to keep EMS and other first responders afloat. Breaking this down with me this morning is Alan DeYoung, Executive Director of the Wisconsin EMS Association. Good morning.
Morning.
In your perspective, are referendums like these the answer to EMS shortages?
I don't know that there's a single answer. I do know that they will help in those areas, but obviously there's not a silver bullet that's going to solve all the challenges that EMS faces right now. Most people believe that their taxes right now, cover the cost of running EMS for their area. Most of the time, that's not the case, and that's where these referendums come into play. But as we know, we can't tax too much. And with the increases in inflation on households, it's hard to ask for more money when at a time right now it is needed the most for EMS.
Paint a picture for me of where the shortages, where the highest workloads are hitting EMS around the state in Wisconsin right now.
I would definitely say in the rural communities. I mean, I've been out there myself. They're struggling just filling schedules. We have people that I've talked to personally that have worked 600 hours in a month, which seems unfathomable, like to basically work 24/7, be on call and going to calls 24/7, 6 days a week because they have nobody to replace them. And these are volunteer departments that some of them pay a stipend, some of them don't, and some of them the stipend could be $3 an hour, and you're working 600 hours within a month. It seems crazy, but we have nobody to replace them. And there have been only very few areas that I've ever talked with that aren't dealing with a staffing challenge. And those areas are offering the highest wages, the best benefits, and that's the only way that they're staying competitive to anybody else in the entire state. So it's very far and few between, but the majority of the state is seeing these staffing challenges, even in the urban areas that can offer a bit more pay.
600 hours a month. I don't like to do math on TV, but how do you fit 150 hours into a week? I mean, how common is that? That's insane.
Yeah, it's not as common, but what we have seen that is common is people working multiple days, being on call, going to calls without any types of breaks in between, any types of coverage in between, and they're not getting paid any type of even a minimum wage because they're considered stipend volunteers. And so there are many referendums out there. There are many services that are trying to move from this volunteer on-call only type model that has been used for decades to an actual full-time paid staff model. But that, of course, takes funding.
Are there ways that you believe the state legislature should be stepping up?
I believe so. I would hope that there could be a statewide funding mechanism because there are rural areas that you can't increase the taxes. Their residents just can't pay anymore in some of our poorest areas of our state. There needs to be some way that we can either find the funding to at least provide a baseline to many of these departments that can't raise taxes, can't find the funding. That baseline can help many departments at least establish a staff, an actual paid staff that can cover these shifts and people aren't getting burned out from them. Overall, we've kind of run some base numbers as an association. I believe it's going to take somewhere around $500 million to create a baseline, which seems like an awful amount of money, obviously, to fund EMS, but we're talking about a statewide level. And if you break it down per household, we're talking about the cost of a Netflix subscription per household, roughly $180 to $190 a year. But then you can ensure yourself that you're going to have EMS coverage no matter where you are in the state. I've heard of, at least in 2021, we had, I think, at least three calls in one county alone that nobody showed up. I believe we're going to be seeing that more and more. And it's a kind of a scary thought or scary situation that we're heading towards.
Yeah, that's definitely a sobering reality.
Yeah.
Alan, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we will be right back.